Keep this a little PG. I've known this guy for a long time, so I don't get into too much. For those of you that don't know me, I've pretty much been part of the Malcolm family since we were young know-it-alls. We grew up around the farm here. I've watched all of you go from little guys to big guys, especially Nicholas. I remember Nick's first beer and cigarette over by the door over here. So one moment that actually sits in my mind is actually Nick at the sweet young age of 16. He had just gotten his license. So what do you do when you get your license? It's like, okay, phone up your buddy. Where are we going? Nick got the keys to the little Echo and off we went. Down to the Bowmanville show to check a flick out. For the life of me, I have no clue what movie we went to see. You remember? But I remember after the movie. So somehow leaving in the parking lot, Nick managed to navigate himself to the only pole in the parking lot that did not have a light. And I remember looking down and I look up and it was like slow motion. I was like, Nick! Boom! Right into the post with this little Echo. So, that is how I would pretty much explain Nick's previous relationships. Nick! So, I've heard Nick say this many times, and we all know it's, for many love stories, you gotta slay a few dragons before you find the princess. And did Nick ever find himself a princess? So, but for me and anyone that knows Nick really closely, it wasn't even the fact that he found you, Brittany. Within finding you, Nick found himself. Great to have you back. So, I don't actually have a drink here, but so I would like to, I mean, many people are involved in making this day happen, but this guy, Dylan here, has been slugging for months up in this forest. So, to a perfect friend, to a perfect bride, and one last thing, buddy, that drink I brought you earlier on, and I was like, this is a stiff drink, it wasn't alcohol in there. So my babies are going to need some friends to grow up with. And I can only hope that they have the lasting relationships that we do.
Everyone, give me a round of applause for Ben, please.
I'd like to welcome and thank everyone for coming and joining us today in our special celebration of Brittany and Nick's marriage. Brittany, how beautiful and stunning you look today. It is with love, joy, and pride that your dad and I stand here today and wish you and Nick a lifetime of love and happiness. Nick, welcome to our family. We couldn't be more excited on Brit's choice of a husband. Over the past 2 years, we have watched the love between you and Brittany grow and how happy you have made her. Brit, where has the time gone? As a little girl, I remember your independence, how anxious you always were for the next new experience and adventure. Whether it was soccer, dance, skiing, you were always so confident to do it on your own. I remember volunteering to go on a school trip with you and your class, and you told me you didn't want me. I was devastated. You just needed a ride, that's all. But fortunately for me, life changed when you moved away to school, and you and I would then chat almost every day. Our relationship grew into best friends and not just mother and daughter. I am so proud of you, your kindness, your generosity, and your strength. Brit, you are very dedicated at whatever you set your mind on. You have a huge heart, and you always seem to be that go-to person for your brothers when you were growing up. Thank you for involving me in your life. The shopping trips, naturally.
You're the best.
Sharing secrets, sometimes too much. I will always treasure those memories. Nick, you just fit into our family, and right from the beginning, it felt like we had known you forever. You're ambitious, hardworking, and you have a huge heart. Always willing to give your time, and most of all, we love how amazing you treat our daughter. I will always remember Brittany coming home after she had met you for the first time at the beer tent. The next morning, she told me, I'm going to marry this guy. And I thought, really? We'll see how this goes. And then a week later, you showed up at our door, introduced yourself to me, gave me a big hug, kiss, and a warm apple pie. My immediate thoughts went back to what Brit had said the week prior, and I thought, oh yeah, Brit, you're definitely me to marry this guy. I knew then you were a keeper. I never thought I'd see the day that Brittany would be checking for sales at the grocery stores, making lunches, and doing laundry. But I guess it just proves quickly things can change. What a beautiful day this has been. Brittany and Nick, you have planned and worked for months to make this a very special day for each other. I hope you will always remember and treasure this excitement of your wedding and making this day come true. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge some very special people at your wedding today. Your grandparents, my parents, Hannah and Patricia O'Reilly, which I'd like to say they will be married 65 years next week. And also Nick's grandfather, John Walters. And his grandmother, Tina, who recently passed away, but no, she is smiling down on you, Nick, on this very special day. Now, I would like to make a toast to the
I guess as you've guessed by now, I'm Bryce, father of the bride. Firstly, I'd like to thank Dave and Joanna for welcoming all of us to their home and letting our children use their beautiful property to create their dream wedding. My daughter Brit, you look amazing. There was never any doubt in my mind that you would make a beautiful bride. Today, you have proven that to be true. It seems like yesterday, Brit, a little girl was playing with dolls and putting on puppet shows. One moment that stands out for me, your first roller coaster ride. You were scared to death. It took me a $20 bribe, a lot of sweet talking, a promise of a photo at the end. That was just to get you on. Well, it was the day that you never forgot. It was a day that I learned basically that Brit, I guess, would have to put money, or I would have to put actually money where my mouth was, because I was the one that came up with the actual intuition there. Brit, no matter what obstacles that you face, Whether it be school, work, or volunteering projects, you have always found your way and excelled through. So it's only natural that you would excel in the romance department as well. Nick, I would officially like to welcome you to the family.
Thank you.
And I would also like to say that you are a very lucky man. You've just married my only little girl. Over these few years, we've gotten to know each other. Nick, I've learned that you are a very passionate, hardworking, ambitious, and generous man. And Brittany is definitely your equal. I watched Brittany grow into a wise, fun-loving, and intelligent woman, and I couldn't be prouder. I know you two will have an exciting life together, one filled with business ventures and lots of exciting trips. But no matter what hardships you come against, you will face them together, and even though not every challenge you have may end exactly the way you have imagined, I know you will work with one another and find a solution. You both have wonderful qualities that I know you will pass on to all your children, and lots of children. You have to meet Dave. We're in for 7. Now, raising a family is an adventure, Brit. You are the prime example of what makes raising children so rewarding. So, I realize that you've already been toasted, but I'm toasting you, pair again. So I would like everyone to raise their glass and toast this wonderful couple today. May your joys be everlasting and your pain light. And I wish you a long, happy, healthy life. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for the appearance of the bride. Now this time I'd like you to feast your eyes on the dance floor as we have the father-daughter dance.
So I just want to start off by thanking Brit and Nick for inviting me to be a part of their day. So thank you. And I also want to thank every single person in here who helped them along their journey in making today what it is. I mean, how gorgeous is this wedding? So after hearing Brit and Nick talk about what they envisioned for their wedding, it doesn't surprise me in the least that they made it happen. Because that's who they are. They make things happen. And Brit has been making things happen since the day that I met her, all the way back in elementary school. So I remember the day that Brit and I met. We were at a sleepover at a mutual friend's house.
Oh no.
Don't worry.
Okay.
But we didn't know each other. And let me tell you, if there was love at first sight for friends, Brit and I experienced that. We instantly became the best of friends, and we bonded over our mutual obsession with Gilmore Girls, and dancing in the kitchen to Michael Jackson, which happened over and over again. We've been pretty much inseparable ever since. And it's funny, when I reflect on that night, all the girls watched The Exorcist that night, which was terrifying. And I remember Brittany being so scared. And the reason that I laugh is because she hasn't changed at all. I still joke about the fact that when we were older, and her parents weren't around, and her brothers weren't around, she would drive to my parents' house to have a shower, because she was legitimately scared of someone breaking in and stealing her.
That's true.
Brit's ridiculousness has made me laugh ever since. And Nick, you know exactly what I'm saying.
I do.
But on a serious note, Brit was the kind of friend that everyone wishes for. You could tell because she always had so many friends. Everyone who met Brit loved her, and I think you would all agree that she's maintained that ability to win over a crowd. So even though through much of our friendship we went to different schools or we lived in different cities, Brit and I maintained our sisterhood, and she made sure of it. She would always go that extra mile to keep the connection, and that's just in one more reason why I think she's the perfect example of a partner and now wife. She was also always the fun friend, up for a good time, and one of the most caring and dependable friends. So whether she was sneaking me into my first bar, do we remember the Banshee?
Oh, no.
Yes. Or we were staying in watching season after season of Gilmore Girls. Together, she has always been there when I needed her. So then we grew up and we both went to separate universities, but lo and behold, we end up together again, renting a house for the summer. And Brit and I famously had 3 bedrooms in this house. We used one as a closet and the other one to sleep in. University days ended and real life began, and again, life's terms brought us together in Markham. So I moved in with her, and we fell back into those same patterns. And at this time, I was working really early mornings, and she may or may not have come in while I was getting ready for work on multiple occasions. But because she's Brit, she always brought me coffee. To the outside world, I think Brit's life has always appeared beautiful and fast-paced, and that's because that's exactly who she is. So to the outside world, I think everyone thought Brit's life was this fast-paced and beautiful life, and it's because that really was her life. She was the jet setter, and she could charm a room, and she never let anyone dictate her next move. And she was always on the move, whether it was moving from city to city, progressing in her field of work, or exploring her passions, you really couldn't keep her still. She always had so much to give the people around her, and I think that's why she never stayed in the same place for too long. And although she's a small-town girl, her ambition and her independence, like her parents were saying, quickly took her out of this small town.
Another strong value that many of you probably know is the importance of family to Brittany. So no matter where she was in her travels, she always came home to visit her family. And that's why it was no surprise that weekend, that Labor Day weekend, that she was home visiting her mom and dad. But what was a surprise was her appearance at that fall fair. So I remember talking to my parents the next day, and they had mentioned that they saw Brit and this really handsome brother of Logan's. And because I know there are quite a few of them, I immediately called her to find out which one it was. And she told me about meeting Nick and basically his entire family in that one night. So over the next year, I saw my beautiful and free-spirited best friend fall in love. She had found her other half. It was someone who didn't hold her down, but was moving at the same speed right beside her. And I knew Brit had found the right match when I saw her begin to slow down and plant some of those roots. He was just as passionate about life, driven and fun as she was. He was calm enough to ground her, but spirited enough to keep up.
I saw her become balanced and sure. And the day that I really knew Nick was the one was when she was telling me about cuddling his dog in their bed. It always made me smile that after traveling and living all over, Brit finds her husband right in her backyard. So Nick, sorry. Thank you for being the man that you are. and sweeping Brittany off her feet. You are the perfect balance of steadiness and strength, love and empathy, and I absolutely adore you. My wish for you both is that you continue to fall in love with each other, just as I've seen over and over again. And before I sit down, I just want to thank you again for letting me be part of your day. And I look forward to making so many memories with you both in the years to come. And Britt, he totally drives a motorcycle.
Thank you very much. Let's get a round of applause for the maid of honor, Nicole.
Hello everyone, my name is Colton, and this bigger guy next to me is my brother Justin. And we are the brothers of the bride. Not some high school friend, blood. Yeah! First off, I'd just like to say, Britt, you look absolutely gorgeous today. Also, the bridesmaids and Britt's friends looking hot as always. Growing up with Britt, we had a special bond. We could tell each other anything. We would never hesitate to talk about what was going on in life, and we could always trust each other not to leak secrets. Just like when she got her first tattoo. I kept that secret smothered until she forgot to smother it herself 8 years later. Britt was always the outgoing one in the family. She took me to my first high school party. It was life-changing. Drinking games, shots, and of course, the older women. Those were a few of the things I got to experience as Brittany's younger brother. Having an older sister like Britt was honestly such a huge advantage in high school. And she taught me a lot about life in general, girls, and of course, how to match my clothes. As the years have gone on, Britt has always made an effort to include me in her social scene. Just like a month ago, Britt invited me to her bachelorette party. Where I got to watch over 10 beautiful girls. And being the nice guy I am, I offered to be the photographer. I've never been so into photography. I think everyone can agree that my little sister makes a beautiful bride. But Nick, man, you're rocking that tux looking good, bro. It was when Brittany entered grade 9 that our social scene started to merge. I remember the night very clearly. Drinking in a circle with my buddies, checking out the new and unknown local talent. What better way to spend a Saturday night in Fort Perry? And then it happened. Jimmo, was that your little sister? Naturally, I looked over, and to my surprise, there was Britt. Looking far beyond her years and unleashing her inner social butterfly. For anyone in the room who has a younger sister, there always comes a day when suddenly you realize everyone around you no longer sees you that way. And just in case you haven't experienced it, let me tell you, it's not a good feeling. At that point, two things were racing through my mind. First, I had to make sure Brittany got home safely that night. And second, I remember thinking, there's no way in hell Mom let you out of the house wearing that outfit. And that would be leverage for later.
The truth is, I've never really viewed Brit as a younger sister. Since I can remember, she's always been 5 years ahead of her time, and in many cases, ahead of me. She was always pushing the boundaries, trying to keep up with those older than her, and in doing so, pushed me in the process. Whether it was finally attending a high school dance, or being the brave one and making friends with other kids on family vacations, Brit always looked out for her shy older brother. Brit, you are the type of person who wears her heart on her sleeve, and is always willing to give your time, energy, and advice to others, including your brothers. Like most siblings, you start to appreciate them more as you get older, and that was especially true in my case. About 10 years ago, I met my wife, my future wife, Frances, and I'm not sure I would have pulled it off without the help of little sis. Your constant advice and support throughout that time, and truly accepting and treating Frances like a sister, is something that I'll never forget.
Nick.
Oh no.
I'm never one to take credit. Right, I'm not done with you yet. Nick, I'm never one to take credit, but I think I just may on this one. One night, me and Brit were sitting at home, watching movies, picking out on junk food. You know, being really single. And she was feeling down about it, so as her younger brother, I had to pick her up. I was going out with some friends that night, and I figured where better to find a guy for Big Sis than the Port Perry Labor Day Fair. Just kidding. The real reason I brought Brit along was because my ex was going, and I hate confrontation. So Big Sis was there for protection. What I didn't expect was Brit would find friends, leaving me to be a sitting duck, and having an awful night.
Sorry.
To cap it all off, I look over, and Brit was with some random pretty boy. Selfish, right? Well, to be fair, that pretty boy turned out to be my sister's husband. So now I can officially say, Brit, as shady as you were that night, I do forgive you. And I would do it all over again if it was the same outcome. Now when they started dating, things got serious real quick. They moved in together, and that's when I started noticing some changes in Brit. She went from a city girl to a girl who wanted her own chickens. She also learned how to cook and bake, stuff you could actually eat. And she always seemed to be doing something book or vegetable related. Now I know that all sounds real lame, but for the first time in a long time, I could see my sister was truly happy. I've never seen her more comfortable, confident, and relaxed. And really, as her brother, that's what's important to me. And I have Nick to thank for that. Thank you for being the gentleman my sister deserves, and the type of guy I always hoped she'd end up with. I think you will be a good husband that both completes my sister, as well as keeps her on her toes. I look forward to our future cottage projects, and for everything I know you'll teach me in the future. Welcome to the family, man.
So Nick, not that you really need any more brothers, but today you've gained 2 more. You're a good egg, bro, with a big heart. And I think I speak for all the Jimmos when I say we're happy to have you in our family. I'm looking forward to many old fashions and cottage weekends in our future. Colt and I couldn't be more happier for the 2 of you. This wedding is absolutely beautiful. combining both your creative minds and bringing your incredible vision together. It's warranted to say that all your hard work has truly paid off. So let's keep the bride and groom drinking and raise our glasses to the beautiful couple, Brittany and Nicholas Malcolm.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for Colton and Justin. Thank you.
All right, I'd like to welcome everyone here to the family farm. This place is extra special for a whole bunch of us here because we all grew up here. And if these trees could talk. We've got a lot of fond memories here. I'm going to share one of my favorites. Back when we used to do the Maple Maple Farm Syrup Festival here. I was talking with Nikki last night and he was sharing some of these memories with me as well, so I thought it'd be nice to share them with you. You guys might have noticed when we walk in, the old sugar shack was standing there, right beside the entrance, and that's where our father, along with his boys and sometimes a little girl, and his black and white 20-inch deep antenna TV would spend the long late nights boiling down the sap. Quiet! Now, along with the early mornings, we'd go out on tour through the woods with our wagon behind the trailer, collecting all the sap. Oh. Hey, quiet in the back, you rowdies. That's my table. I know what's going on there already, so. Anyway, so now along with the early mornings, where we would take the trailer behind the tractor in the woods, collecting all the sap from the fresh spring run. Nick wasn't very old at the time, but he always did his part in the sap collecting. And I can still picture him walking back to the trailer with a bucket full of sap filled to the brim, splashing left and right with a grin from ear to ear. My favorite memories of Nick during the syrup times would be when we would host the pancake breakfast. We do them a couple weekends in a row. First, we would pile everyone into the back of the old trailer and take them up on the mystery tour through the woods. I remember having a lot of fun with the raccoon who lived in a tree just behind us over there, just up from the ancient Indian ruins. I don't know if any of you remember that tour. After the exciting and memorable tour, we brought everyone back to the garage to have some Malcolm-made pancakes with hot and fresh Malcolm syrup from these trees right here. Oh, if these trees could talk. We keep the syrup warm on the oven burner, and there was always lots of butter and second and third helpings if you needed it. Nick always made sure of it. You always made sure your glass was full of juice and your plate was stacked with pancakes. You had everything you needed to enjoy. So Nick's attention to detail, when it comes to his guests in this forest, actually goes back a lot further than you might all imagine. And I just want to give a hats off to him and Brit for all the work they put in to make this beautiful event happen here for us. I'm going to leave you guys with a couple final thoughts. So, I think a good marriage comes together a lot like a good bottle of maple syrup. You need a whole lot of sap to get just a little bit of that really good syrup. Just like in a marriage, you need a whole lot of love, time, and patience just to get a little bit of that quality marriage stuff. You'll have to put some late nights in, cooking things down, and it never hurts to make sure there's a full belly and some nice table service. Wishing you both an extra sweet life together here amongst the trees. Oh, if these trees could talk.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Kingsley.
I'm going to jump in last minute here. Just a couple of thoughts off of my mind. I'd just like to say thank you, Nick, for being the brother that was always there. I'd like to say thank you, Nick, for being the one that was there when I would call you to help me fix my house. I would say, shh. to the person that just shh me. I would just like to say I got a lot of good brothers. They've all done good things for me. And Nick was always the one that I could call at the end of the hour. When no one else was ready to help, he would always be the first one to show up, to give it his all to help me and finish any projects that I ever needed to finish. And I just want to say that I love you, Brittany. I welcome you into the family. And we've had so many times together. And I can't wait for so many more. I love you guys. I love you guys.
Thank you very much, Robert.
Well, welcome to this enchanted forest. And it was enchanted by Nicholas and Brittany. And when they told us a number of months ago that they were going to have a wedding in the forest, I said, "Collation!" Because there's been so much junk accumulated in my forest over the last 40 years from the kids. I said, oh, this is the opportune time to get it cleaned up. And what a great job they did, wouldn't you say? Thank you so much. That's not even my speech. Now I'll read my speech. Nicholas, I am so proud of the man you have become. You are one of the kindest, loving, generous, hardworking, and helpful people on this planet. Your dad and I and everyone in your life is blessed to have you in our circle. You are a powerhouse of energy and go, go, go. Even as a baby, you never slept. What you envision is what you realize, and you have done so many things over the last 3 months, including creating this spectacular wedding venue for you and Brit. And all of us. You opened a new fireplace store in Coburg, been chef and crew on a charter boat, helped numerous others with their own projects, as well as continue to do your everyday business as usual. I am in awe of you. The quiet, blonde-haired boy who hid behind me and wouldn't look up at adults has become a wonderful man. I know you will be a loyal, considerate, and loving husband because that's just who you are. Being a do-it-yourselfer is an added bonus, for sure. Brittany. She was the one, and Nikki knew it right from the get-go. The Malcolm clan knew it too. I have said it before. It was our lucky day when Brittany Jimmo came our way. Intelligent, kind, generous, loving, sweet, and gorgeous. What more could anyone ask for? You both have worked so hard to create this beautiful wedding. You've done a spectacular job. We are also thrilled to welcome you to the Malcolm family. We couldn't ask for better. Chris and Bryce, you did a fantastic job raising this girl. We all love her. I figure it's still part of my job as your mother to pass on a bit of advice. Communication. Talk to each other, and the other side of this is to really listen. Hear each other out and value what each of you brings to the table. You may, I know you will not always agree, but understand that whatever each person in the relationship has to say has value. Compromise. Not always easy, and it can't just be one-sided. You are a team now. Give and take from both sides builds a good marriage. Compliment. I think it should be a law that married couples say something nice to each other every single day. What is better than that? It means you're paying attention. consideration of each other and the roles you have in the partnership. One is not more valuable than the other. It's the team thing, being part of it, working together to the benefit of all parts. And we can only hope there will be many more parts added to this team. Nick and Brit, I wish for you a lifetime of walking together hand in hand, celebrating the joys, comforting each other in times of sadness, strength in times of weakness, and true blue friendship along your journey together. I love you as individuals, and now as a couple, joined by faith and love.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Malcolm Farm, the Malcolm land. We've been on it for 170 years. We love all of you because you're all here tonight. And it feels so good to have everyone here. We knew this would happen. I say, about time. I'd say, no. It's about having enough time for both of you to keep a special eye on your new prize. Family, friends, kids, and all the incredible people you will meet in your lives together. Always trying to be inclusive, not only in those special times with your new lovey-dovey, but with all the demands and occasions that are constant. I love you both, and I hope for only the best, and the best of all times in the future. The forces of love are strong, and the best feelings to believe in. You are my pair of threes, my third son, my third daughter-in-law. I would like to welcome the Jimmel family, which I've known Bryce for quite a few years, but we won't go into this at the moment, into ours, and together we can make this union a solid and lasting relationship. I toast to you all, and here, to the Jimmel family.
Give a round of applause for the appearance of the groom, Joanna and David.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dan Lauren. Nick and I have had a long distance relationship for about 8 or 9 years now. And, it's been difficult at times, we made it work. I'd like to start this one out by doing the unmentionable and talking about the bachelor party. In a good way. Hey, loose lips, sink ships, right? No, honestly, God, I'm 34 years old, I've been involved in a few weddings, and I've been to a few bachelor parties, and this hands down was one of the best. Not so much for the activities, mind you. If anybody else can say that they've raced Mustangs for a bachelor party, please stand up. Thanks. Yeah. Or gone to Facebook Live. But no, for the people. Jesse, Steve-O, Benny, the Jimmel boys, and the Malcolm boys. What a crowd. I mean, that's what really made it. There was no character that stood out. Everybody just kind of rolled with the punches, which made it really fun, really smooth, and a great weekend. Yeah. 'Cause, 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 ' Speaking of the Malcolm boys and the Malcolm family, all of which I had met and hung out with individually prior, it's not till you get them all together that you see that they are really, truly all individuals. Really great men. No, really great men. And not to leave Rob Marr hanging out the last couple of dates. A really great woman. Dave and Joanna, you did an amazing job. And you must be proud most of the time.
Love that.
It's true, it's true. But about the individual that I'm here for, this fellow right here, as I mentioned, long distance relationship for, let's say, 8 or 9 years, but has been bonded by common interests of being small business owners, great interests of riding dirt bikes, snowmobiles, boating, cottaging, and now add one more to the list, being married to absolutely gorgeous women. So a few things that come to mind, and I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet. Those of you who know Nick, Nick has an ability of making a strong but subtle presence in a crowd, whether it be a common crowd or a new crowd. He's there. There's no hyper Nick, there's no down Nick, it's just Nick. He's a steady stream, he's a presence, and he's there. Right? Do we not agree? Perfect example, for about, let's say 15 years now, I've been going to a boys' weekend in November. I live on Georgian Bay, and we've been closing a friend's cottage. Okay, so we go up there, and in September, you know, messages and phone calls start to circulate. Hey, you're talking about boys' weekend, Dan, will you in? Okay, great. Well, about 5 years ago, I decided to bring Nick into the mix. Hey, I got my buddy Nick, he's gonna come. You guys in? Yeah, great. So then Nick, in traditional form, says, hey, I want to cook dinner on Saturday night. I said, well, listen, buddy, there's like 11 fellas up there, right? No, I got this. So he comes up in traditional form, blows the socks off of everybody, and then I think does Eggs Benny on Sunday morning. Just that insult to the injury, right? And since that time, he's been a staple at Boys Weekend, but to go along with being a strong but subtle presence in a crowd, you know, prior to that, I was like, hey, Dano, Boys Weekend, you in? Ever since then, it's like, hey, Dano, Boys Weekend, Nick coming? Second thing that really comes to mind for me, that is a huge value to me, is how Nick, and I mean we've heard it again and again tonight, he's a guy that gives the shirt off his back. My wife and I were lucky enough to build a new home in the past year, and he was one of the first people to get a hold of me and say, hey man, whatever you need, you let me know, let's hook it up, we'll get it done. You know, in correlation to Boys Weekend, late October, he packed up his truck with all the product materials and everything, rolled up to my house, we banged it out 2 long days, we got everything installed, and I really value, you know, having a friend like him, who will just go the distance, go the extra mile, not because he owes one, not because of anything else, other than the fact that he's a friend. So in closing, if I can, say Nick, in our time together we've made a lifetime of memories, whether it be dirt biking in West Virginia, snowmobiling in Perry Sound, cottaging on Shadow Lake and Georgian Bay. Brother, let me say, it's been a blast, but it's only the beginning. Cheers.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up once more for Daniel.
So first off, on behalf of Nick and I want to welcome and thank everyone here today. It has truly been magical. We truly feel so lucky to have all of our close family and friends here in one room together to celebrate us on our wedding day. To my First of all, I would like to thank all of you who have traveled from afar to get here today. To my best friend Terry, who came all the way from Barbados, thank you for being here. Yay! To our close family friend Elaine from Dominican, thank you. To my Aunt Karen from Vancouver, my Aunt Jenny from New Brunswick, my Uncle Bernie and cousin Johnny and Juliet from California. We couldn't have gotten married without you, so thank you for making the travel. I would like to send a special thank you to my Uncle Mike, who's sitting right here, just to point him out, for helping me source all of the vintage decor that is sitting on your tables today. I knew how much he loved floral patterns, so I thought that it was such a great fit to have him help me out. I truly couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much. And to my grandma, who's also sitting right here, she took on the great task of helping me clean every single teacup that you are drinking from tonight, along with matching all the patterns, so thank you so much. I love you. To the very handsome group of groomsmen, not only have you been a huge support and help to me, but most importantly, you brought Nick home to me, home from the bachelor party. Which was questionable at times, for sure. Nick has always spoken so highly of each and every one of you, and I hope you know how special you are to both of us. To my beautiful bridesmaids, here and over there, you have a great group of women when you start out. For anyone who doesn't know, that none of my bridesmaids knew each other until the bridal party. You not only were able to come together to make this process seamless for me, but you all became such great friends in the process. Seeing you all here tonight makes me so happy to know that just because the wedding will end doesn't mean your friendship will. Thank you for everything. To Nicole, my maid of honor, my sister, my best friend, the Lorelei to my Rory, the Christina to my Meredith, and although none of you will get those references, they are extremely important to her and I. I can't imagine life without you, or where I would be today without you by my side. You've had your fair share of hardship this year, and not only have you been your rock in your own family, but you have been mine as well. Thank you for standing by my side through every step of the way. I can't wait till it's your turn next year. June 2nd, everyone. Thank you for all that you are and all that you do. I love you. Now, let me tell you how intimidating it can be to meet your future husband-in-law, not-in-law, sorry, to meet your future husband, and then a lineup of all of his siblings. Not scary at all. So, I knew Logan before anyone, and leave it to me to think that he was the only Malcolm in Port Perry. Clearly wrong. Clearly. To Kingsley, Rachel, Josh, Ange, Marley, Logan, Isaac, and Kate, thank you for welcoming me into the family long before I was engaged, long before we were engaged, sorry. And although the thought of gaining 8 more siblings could be scary to some, I have never felt more grateful. I love you all. Thank you. We love you, Brittany! And thank you for all of your help these last few months with everything. We really, really appreciate it. To Dave and Joe. Uh-oh. Hold on. Thank you for raising such an incredibly kind and loving son. The family you two have built have truly shaped the man he is today. Both of us value family more than anything, and I hope you know how fortunate I feel to be a part of yours. Thank you for allowing us to turn your backyard into a fairy tale wedding, and for all of your help along the way, all of your advice, and all of your words and kind everything. I really appreciate it. You're welcome. To my brothers, Justin and Colton, I'm sorry for always being the favorite. And at one point or another, really wishing for sisters. I couldn't imagine where I would be today without you both. From piggyback rides to camping trips when we were kids, to head security at my bachelorette, and a list of things that we will definitely not be discussing tonight. And everything in between. My brothers have been a solid throughout my whole life. My best friends since day one. Thank you for keeping all of my secrets from Mom and Dad, and helping Nick and I over these last 8 months. I really couldn't imagine this day without you both.
I'm so excited to have 2 more brothers!
To my mom and dad. Growing up in your house was nothing short of amazing. From running me to dance competitions, to singing lessons, soccer games, to the best family vacations and birthday parties, my upbringing was everything I could have imagined it would be. Okay. But one of the most important lessons I learned from the both of you was watching you both in your marriage. You set the example of what a partnership should be and what I'll strive for in my marriage. Thank you for showing me that love takes work, compassion, and finding the right partner is the key to happiness. You. To the first man I ever loved, my dad. You have been my knight in shining armor, my car mechanic, my Mr. Fix-It, protector, mover of at least 4, 5, 6 apartments, and the best ear to lend a listen. Although, you keep secrets worse than I can, so thank you for that quality. Very much the truth, like I'm the worst. I will never forget coming home from the fair and telling you about meeting Nick, and how happy I was to have found a man that resembles all of the qualities I love about you. Although you seem to think that marriage means I'm Nick's problem now, I'm here to let you know you can't get rid of me that easy. Sorry. Finally, I want to thank the most important woman in my life, my mom. Thank you for teaching me how to be the best hostess, decorator, baker, businesswoman, cook, caregiver, wedding planner, and most importantly, clothing shopper. Hello. Not only did you teach me to be strong and independent, you taught me that kindness and compassion are the most important. You are the most selfless and caring woman who has always made it a priority to be there for my class trips, sick days, dance competitions, weekend shopping trips, all while running a successful business of your own and looking damn good while you do it. Although I was the typical teenager who was never home, I have grown to realize that you are Wonder Woman, and I only hope that one day I could become a fraction of the mom that you were to me. Thank you for everything you do for me every day, not just today. Lastly, to my incredibly handsome husband, thank you for being the most incredible partner in rockin' life through everything and all of this. You have literally brought my fairy tale wedding to life, and I can't wait to build our life together and watch our future unfold. I love you. I would like to raise a glass, that I don't have, but everyone will raise a glass. Not only to everyone, I would like to raise a glass to all of you, every single person in this room, our incredible and friends, for coming out today to help us celebrate this magical evening, and to everyone who helped make this day happen. Friends, families, bridal party, brothers, sisters, everybody in between. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, and I love you. Cheers.
been a lot of day build up to get to this point, and honestly, it truly, when I say, takes my breath away to find us all here in one place. Everyone in this building means, honestly, the world to me, and from the deepest of mine and Brittany's hearts, we are there for every one of you. I hope you all love everything that's going on. I cannot help. Good save, Uncle Hank.
Hey, we got it. It's all good.
I want to put this to the Gemos. I am so blessed and feel so happy to be part of your family. I feel welcomed, and I felt welcome from the day that I met you. Truly a blessing and a one-of-a-kind feeling, and I cannot wait for the rest of our future together. To my mom and dad, who allowed me to create Brittany and I's fairy tale here, I cannot express how grateful I am for their love and blessing of us all. We've created something that we all wanted. It's something that we will think about for years to come. And I just want to thank you all for celebrating our special night together. So thank you.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it a applause, Owen.